Hello and welcome to our presentation about the comparison of World War I and World War II. In this video, we will talk about military development, causes of the wars, human lives in World War I versus World War II, impact on the civilian population, and consequences and aftermath.
Military development in World War I. World War I introduced powerful new weapons that changed the nature of warfare. Traditional battle strategies became outdated as technology brought mass destruction and fear to the front lines. The first weapon we want to talk about is the flamethrowers. First used by the Germans in 1916 at Verdun, flamethrowers sprayed burning liquid into enemy trenches. While their range was limited, they were extremely effective in close combat, causing panic amongst enemy troops. The next weapons we want to talk about are the machine guns. The MG0815, introduced in 1915, could fire up to 600 rounds per minute. Machine guns made trench assaults deadly and led to huge casualty numbers. The phrase 0815 became German slang for something ordinary because the weapon was wildly used. The next weapon is not really a weapon, but a force of mass destruction. Firstly used in 1915, gases like chlorine and phosgene caused suffocation and lung damage. The most feared was mustard gas, which caused severe burns and sprayed in environments for weeks. Over 1 million soldiers were affected by poison gas during the war. Tanks were introduced by the British in 1916 to break the stalemate of the trench warfare. Though early models were slow and unreliable, they proved useful in crossing the trenches and resisting machine gun fire. The MP40 was a German submachine gun with a firing rate of 500 to 600 rounds per minute. It was a compact and easy to handle, reliable short ranged weapon. It was also used by Finnish, Italian, and Hungarian troops. The Luger P08 was a semi-automatic pistol introduced 1908. It was a standard sidearm for German military until 1945 and became an iconic symbol of German officers. Its precise design made it one of the most recognizable pistols of the war. The Colt 1911 was a semi-automatic handgun which was often used by US forces during the war. It was highly valued for its accuracy and strong stopping power. The Colt 1911 became one of the most famous American pistols and influenced handgun design for decades. The Thompson submachine gun was a fully automatic weapon used by the US and Allied troops. It was known as the Tommy gun and became the symbol of American infantry. It was especially effective in close combat due to its high fire rate. The MP40 was a German submachine gun with a firing rate of 500 to 600 rounds per minute. It was a compact and easy to handle, reliable short ranged weapon. It was also used by Finnish, Italian, and Hungarian troops.
On the 28th of June 1914, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie Chotek visited Sarajevo, then part of Austria-Hungary, now Bosnia, but at that time claimed by Serbia. Several assassins were waiting to kill them. The first attempt failed. A small bomb thrown at the couple missed and hit the car of a colonel, injuring him and some civilians. As a result, the convoy route was changed, so Franz Ferdinand could visit the injured colonel at the hospital. While turning around, the car briefly stopped, giving assassin Gavrilo Princip the chance to shoot and kill both Franz Ferdinand and his wife. The attack was planned by the Serbian nationalist group Black Hand, which aimed for Serbia's independence from Austria-Hungary. They were supported by Russia. In response, Emperor Franz Joseph I wanted revenge and declared war on Serbia, triggering World War I. Due to alliance systems between the Entente powers and the Central Powers, more countries were quickly drawn into the conflict. On the 23rd of July, Austria-Hungary issued an ultimatum to Serbia, demanding it dissolve all radical groups within 48 hours. Meanwhile, Russia declared its support for Serbia. German Kaiser Wilhelm II gave Austria-Hungary a blank check, promising full support, which other countries saw as a clear sign of war intentions. These events set off a chain reaction that led to the outbreak of World War I. The Second World War began with the unlawful attack by Germany under Adolf Hitler on Poland on the 1st of September 1939. Hitler had planned this attack long before, shortly after taking power, but he had no real justification. On the 31st of August 1939, SS soldiers disguised as Polish troops attacked a German radio station in Gleiwitz. This staged attack, known as the Gleiwitz Incident, was meant to make it look like Poland had attacked Germany. It gave Hitler the false pretext he needed to launch a military invasion. On the 1st of September, Hitler declared, "Since 5:45 a.m. we are now shooting back." This marked the beginning of World War II.
Next up, we have the comparison of the civilian life during the World War I and World War II. In World War I, the living conditions were poor. There was little food and no clean drinking water. Many civilians worked long hours, especially in weapon production. Daily life meant working and hoping loved ones would return from the front. In World War II, the conditions remained difficult. Aryan Germans often had lighter workloads. Most labor was done by prisoners of war and forced laborers, including concentration camp inmates. Civilians lived in constant fear of air raids and attacks. We continue with the impact on civilians in World War I versus World War II. The losses. In World War I, many soldiers died, and only a few civilian casualties. In World War II, there were much higher civilian losses due to bombing and air raids. Estimated over 1 million people were injured. The Soviet Union had the highest losses in both wars. Preparation and supplies. In World War I, there was poor preparation, food shortages, and bad rationing. In World War II, there were better stockpiling and improved food rationing. Attacks on civilians. In World War I, there were few direct attacks on cities or civilians. In World War II, there were constant threats of attacks, created ongoing fear and stress. War endings. In World War I, the sudden defeat left people shocked and demoralized. In World War II, the defeat was expected and civilians accepted the defeat.
The aftermath of World War I. World War I left 16 million dead and Europe in ruins. Several empires collapsed, like the German, Austria-Hungary, the Ottoman, and the Russian. New countries were formed, like Poland and Czechoslovakia. The Treaty of Versailles blamed and punished Germany, leading to economic crisis and unrest. The League of Nations was founded to keep peace and stability. Socially, the war changed the women's morals and caused many to lose trust in the old system. The aftermath of World War II. World War II caused over 60 million deaths and left cities in ruin. Germany and Japan were defeated and occupied. The world was shocked by the discovery of the Holocaust. In 1945, the United Nations was founded to maintain peace. Soon after the Cold War began between the US and the USSR, Europe was divided into communist East and capitalist West. Meanwhile, the decolonization sped up across Asia, Africa, and other regions. In conclusion, World War I and World War II reshaped the world through devastating loss of life, massive military and technological changes, and a deep impact on civilians. While the causes differed, both wars led to political upheaval, long lasting global consequences, and a clear lesson: the importance of peace, diplomacy, and the international cooperation. Yes, I know, this presentation was quite long, but I hope you still enjoyed it. Thank you for listening.